Who was the last team to three-peat in a major sport? I looked this
Was
up
it the
today.
Lakers?
It was the Lakers. 2000
Oh.
to 2002, 2003, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Shaq, Kobe,
Yeah.
Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. Who am I missing?
2000, 2001, 2002.
Rick Fox.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Did I
And
get all
there's
starting
never
five?
been a team in the NFL. Green Bay was, I guess they won the first two ever Super Bowls in the, what was it called before that? The NFL League or something like that?
Yeah,
The
the
championship
NFL
before that.
championship. Mm-hmm.
But in the Super Bowl era, there's been no three-peats. You think it's going to happen?
No.
Okay.
But I didn't think they would repeat this year. They'd lost 5 of 7 or 5 of 8 at one point this year. And most of the time you cannot, like, people are like, oh, they'll turn it on in the playoffs, and it never works. Like the Lakers kind of did it last year, but most teams do not turn it on in the playoffs. There's no such thing.
Really?
Except apparently there is for Mahomes. He just and they figured it out late in the season. They got rolling. They won the division.
Yeah.
Now they blew home field, and you're like, okay, looks like it's going to be because they lost that game to the Raiders late in the season that cost them home field. You're like, well, this might be the year that they fall short, but man, they won all of the games. They won the games on the road. They looked decisive. They never seemed out of any games. Like they seemed inevitable.
Yeah.
Against the Bills, it seemed inevitable. Against the Ravens, it was inevitable. And even against the 49ers, they were hanging around. And they have the guy. That's the thing.
Patty.
Is when you have the guy, you got a shot at it.
They have the most valuable bundler.
The MVP.
He's a baller, bro. My boy, though, I thought McCaffrey was going to be he had the fumble early. But overall, I mean, he had kind of what I expected. 80, 90 yards receiving, rushing. The play of the game would have been, with 3 seconds to go, game tied, if they would have put him back to return the kick. But, yeah. I mean,
I don't know why they didn't.
Anyways, he kicked it out of the end zone, but.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to say, I want to know why they didn't even try. But he was hitting the goalpost all night on the kicks. That's one rule they really need to change. Like, I know it's to prevent injuries and prevent concussions, but there's no such thing as kickoffs anymore.
True. I mean, they changed that rule because they were afraid of players getting hurt on special teams, right? Like they wanted to limit the amount of kick returns. It just doesn't make it as fun. Then you don't have a guy like a Devin Hester who can get into the Hall of Fame anymore. Nobody can
breaking play.
Yeah. Do you remember the Super Bowl? I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was like 2000, 2001. I think there was back-to-back kick returns.
Ravens versus the Giants, 31-7.
Maybe that could be
because the opening kickoff was a touchdown. And there was another kick return touchdown. So you are right. I just don't remember if it's back to back. I love the Super Bowl. It's like my favorite day of the year.
It's fun. Wait, so what were your biggest takeaways from the game?
From the game, so some interesting things from the game. This is Kyle Shanahan's third Super Bowl calling plays, and he has had a 10-point lead, double-digit lead in every single one, and he's 0-3 as a play caller.
What was the third?
Know. So he was the offensive coordinator for Atlanta when they were up 28-3.
Holy crap, man!
Yeah. And so they got up 28-3, and they made tons of mistakes that game. They kept snapping the ball with 15, 16 seconds on the play clock instead of letting it run.
Yeah.
And, they kept doing deep shots, which were there, but it did not manage that game well. And then they were up by 10 against the Chiefs in the fourth quarter and got outscored 21-0. And then they were up by 10 in the first quarter this year, and then, things happen, man. So that was one of my interesting takeaways is he's great, and it's great to get to the Super Bowl. So it's really hard to complain when you say, oh, you blew a lead in the Super Bowl. Well, at least you're getting there 3 times.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that he has these 3 different leads by double digits and then gone, gone, gone.
Yeah. You think he's one of those guys that's almost like too smart for his own good? Like the comments about the 49ers not discussing overtime or not knowing the rules.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him being that guy who's like so heady offensively. Like he's so much in his head that he forgets to even kind of like cover the bases for the different, situations.
Do you think they should have taken the ball first in overtime? What do you think?
Yeah, my thought was still take the ball first. Because then, I don't know. I like that because then you still put the pressure on them. You put the pressure on the Chiefs to score. Now you got to go down and score a touchdown. The defensive
They did.
attempt, I guess, then you know what you have to do. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
The thing I would do, I think I've heard Andy Reid say it, but if the 49ers scored a touchdown, what Shanahan was thinking is 49ers score a touchdown, Chiefs score a touchdown, then we get the ball back to win the game. But that's not what would have happened. Andy Reid, I think, said that they would have gone for 2, which is why I would want to go second, is because 49ers score a field goal, great, I just need a touchdown. 49ers score a touchdown, I got to go for 2 to try to win the game. It's all in my hands at that point. So I understand what he was thinking. I just, I think he got outthought there.
Was this
hard
the
to criticize.
First playoff game with the new rule?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to do, the R&R in the Super Bowl. But yeah.
Well, let's throw this up against the wall and see if it works with 130 million people watching.
See what happens. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, I mean, I think the 49ers, they just couldn't put them away. Like, they won the first half. They lost the third quarter. And then they still had the potential in the fourth to close them out. But just, like, too many mishaps. Like, they had the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 fumbles. I don't know when the second fumble happened, if that was in the fourth quarter or not. And then the punt return mishap.
Mm-hmm.
And then the extra point. It's like,
oh yeah, the extra point. I forgot about that because that was
the extra point,
for me,
that gave the Chiefs the ability to kick a field goal to tie it, to send it to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would have been up by 4.
That was the fumble on the punt was in the third quarter.
Okay.
Late in the third.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the extra point was the killer because that was late in the game. That was, I guess there was 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but the Chiefs weren't moving the ball. They had the field goal and a field goal and the touchdown off the muff. Well, it's not a muff, but off the crazy thing that happened. And then field goal to end the game. So, like, they had 1, 2, 3, 4 field goals and a touchdown. So it's not like their only touchdown was on the fumble. So, you hit that extra point.
I'm telling you.
The Chiefs hadn't done anything all game to put the ball in the end zone except when they were just handed the ball at the 25-yard line. So I don't feel bad for the 49ers because they're my least favorite team in sports.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't feel bad for them either, but I felt like they could have won that game. Same thing, kind of like you were saying with the Ravens. Like, it looks like the other team's going to win the game, and then the Chiefs, you can kind of just feel it. You're like, they're going to pull it out. They're going to win the game. I don't know how, but they're going to win. So
that's what I felt the whole Super Bowl was the 49ers were like keeping it at arm's length. And I'm like, I just think the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah.
Like, you're just waiting for the moment. Even on the punch, you're like, okay, Mahomes throws an interception and the 49ers have a chance to, put the game out of reach. Nope. 3 and out. So it's amazing. It's amazing the run they're having. Just when you thought you were done with those after Brady retired, you're like, okay, thank heaven, we're going to have some parity. And then the Chiefs just boom.
New dynasty.
So,
yeah. I think it's cool. What's halftime? What'd you think about Usher? Yeah, he's the man.
He
I
is
didn't
the
like
man.
the Alicia Keys part, but I'm a hater. So
You know, she was dressed like. She dressed like a challenge flag.
oh really?
And she had a big robe behind her.
Oh my gosh, she was good. I was like, what's Alicia Keys doing here? But
Oh, I'm not
she's
going to
great.
complain about Alicia Keys.
She's great.
The only thing against Usher, the only negative I had was the background dancers committed to the move a lot more than Usher did, and so it looked like Usher was just kind of, and then the background dancers were committing to the moves a lot heavier. So that's the only complaint I have. It was great.
I mean, it's Vegas. They're gonna pop it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Did you
didn't know he
see
could roller
Beyonce's?
skate.
Yeah, that was news. And
Yeah,
then Little John and Ludacris came out. It's like, what a
that
great
was.
day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you think about Beyonce's new haircut?
I think it's interesting. It's like Marilyn Monroe, but it's blonde, right? It was, yeah. I mean, I like it. Is she gonna drop an album or something? Is that what the big? I didn't catch that part of the commercial, but I guess
Yes.
Twitter was going wild after they made that little
She's
comment.
she's dropping a country
Beyonce's
album.
new haircut. Let me look it up. She's had blonde hair before, bro. It just had like a big it had like a big swoop to it, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was like a little. So did you hear me? She's doing a country album.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that. Wow. Who's
yeah. So I think
by
that's
herself?
partially why. Renaissance Act 2 album announces country-themed Renaissance Act 2. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. You think it's gonna? I mean, it's gonna be probably more like Morgan Wallen, kind of like pop country. I like that stuff. I think it's great. I liked her last album. It was more like what's it called? House music.
Like a little more,
It's like a
not
house.
soulful.
What's like a house DJ is what they call that. Like house music, and it's kind of vibey. Maybe like what's the word? Lo-fi, like lo-fi. That's what it is.
That's what I play in my classrooms. I play lo-fi hip hop beats.
Lo-fi beat. Yeah.
Yeah, kids like to work with music on, and no one works in sounds. Everyone always has headphones in normally, so there's no headphones in my campus. So I put a little dong,
I like that stuff, man.
dong.
Sometimes the lo-fi, like you can lock in on it. Sometimes it makes me sad for some reason.
It's the low part, the lo-fi.
Is that like brings me down?
Low.
I'm like, I enjoy this, but I'm like kind of like sad listening to it. So maybe send me some better ones.
Casey, did you know that the lo-fi music is bringing you down?
We gotta do better.
I'm working on it. Workshop.
Trades, bro.
Did you see Did you see the nail on Odell? So this is my fantasy football trophy. Did you see Daniel's nails?
I thought that was weird, man.
All the nails?
I can't do that. That stuff weirds me out. Does he still got it, or did he take them off?
No, he ripped them off in the third quarter, and now Odell has a nail. Yeah, it was impressive.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh! He's like, I ain't going to work like this. Rip.
I think that would have been the best part. Make him go to work with them on. He got like the full. How long were they?
Like 2-3 inches.
That's freaking wild.
They were good. They're enough to say Swift Kelsey on them. Bedazzled on the middle finger.
Oh, is that what it said? I saw Kelsey added to the other hand.
Swift and Kelsey. It was a little.
Friggin' Taylor Swift.
You know, more football fans are better, I guess.
She's cute.
She was talking to Ice Spice, explaining the cover 2 defense. So yeah, the 2 safeties drop, and then it leaves a gap there in the corner, and that's where my boy likes to go. He likes to make the little cut there, that in between spot.
No, she didn't.
And he's one-on-one with the linebacker. He can either do the hook route or he can run it out. And Ice Spice is like,
That's freaking right. They had him. I saw they had Kelsey mic'd up. At the end.
They? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if they showed the Andy Reid yelling thing, but they showed them two like hugging at the end. It's gonna next year. I swear they're gonna have, if they're still together, they're gonna do like a game where they mic up Taylor in the booth.
We are never, ever, ever getting back together.
What'd you think about the trade, bro?
So, you talking Mavs or you talking others?
We'll start with the Mavs. Well, did the script follow what we discussed last week?
Yeah, it kind of did. So the Mavs made 2 trades.
Yeah.
So I was against them trading their first round picks, and then not only did they do 1 first round pick, but they did 2. Somehow they traded 2 first round picks because they ended up getting 1 somehow from the Thunder, which I don't understand.
I saw
some sort of pick swap. And then they traded. Let's see. They traded Grant Williams and Seth Curry to the Hornets and a first rounder. And they got PJ Washington for that. And so PJ Washington seems like a better version of Grant Williams. Which isn't not a problem. It is interesting that they were so done with Grant Williams after 50 games that they're like, please take him. Here's a first rounder. Thank you.
That's kind of
good news about
that was like they moved on fast, man. Like I still thought he was going to be a solid player. I thought he was going to stick around, but they'd obviously seen enough, and it was time to go.
I guess so. The one I liked was getting Gafford from Washington for the first rounder. I think Rashawn Holmes, because they didn't have to give up Josh Green or any young players, any like young talented players, because normally you have to. And so what that does is now you got 2 centers. So the Mavs play really well with Lively.
Yeah.
But he's a rookie, and you don't want to expose him to too much, which they kind of had to because they have no depth at the center position. So with Gafford, who I think I read was 7th in the NBA in blocks.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's super high up there.
Wow.
So then now you can stagger them both. They can both play 20, 25 minutes a game. And you can stagger them. You don't have to overexpose Lively. You can let them rest, get through the whole season. And the other thing I like about it is they both have 2 years left on their deal. So it's not just a rent a player for this year. There's also next year on top of that. So I, not an A+ because I hate giving up all the picks but it's not like the NFL where you draft a first rounder, he starts for you immediately or needs to. If you're drafting late in the first round, unless you're getting lucky, it's probably not an impact player. So all in all, I give it a B+, and then we'll see how the fit works, and then it can go all the way up to an A. It's a sliding scale. We're going to grade it on a curve. We're going to get everyone's work in. Then we might add 10 bonus points, just like I graded.
I'm trying to think. PJ, what did I look at? I watched a little bit of their highlights. He's from Irving too. Like he went to high school in Irving, which is kind of cool. The only thing about with the Gafford that not made me made me think a little bit is I guess Dwight Powell.
You said Gafford really aggressively.
Gafford, I guess, is Dwight Powell's out now? Because he was kind of the second roll to the rim. He was the backup center. And he's been one of the favorites on the Mavs. Luka likes playing with him, but I think that bumps him out of the rotation.
He might get 8 to 10 minutes a night.
Yeah.
He's a liability defensively. I mean, we were in 27th, the bottom 5 of the league in rebounding. And in the first game, or what did he get last game? Because Gafford got like 15 rebounds last game, I looked.
Oh, yeah. The first game they were there, he balled out. He had like 18 to 20. I think they had like a combined 30 or 40 points, something like that.
Yeah, so last night they played the Wizards, and they played poorly, but they won. And in 24 minutes, Gafford had 16 points and 17 rebounds.
That's solid. Yeah, that's
Luka
hustling.
triple-double, 26, 15, and 11. But like the best rebounder on the team before last night was your point guard, Luka Doncic. And you're like, that's a problem. That's a real problem. Yeah, because before the trade, the last game was against the Nets, I think. Yeah, because Grant Williams was still on the team. And Luka had 18 rebounds that game. And so you're like, well, that's not good that, the best player, the point guard on your team, has that many rebounds. And so, the first game against the Thunder, everyone balled out. And he had, he played.
I think they both played. I just can't remember their stat line. It was.
The first game he had 19 points and 9 rebounds in 17 minutes. That's what it was. And the last game he had 17 rebounds last night. I was like, yeah, that's what we need.
I think what's encouraging too is they come from. It's from the Wizards and from the Hornets, and so they've spent the last 3 or 4 years losing, and so it's probably like these are the greatest basketball players in the world. I'm sure it's kind of refreshing that they're like, hey, we get to be on a winning team now and have the potential to win a championship. That would be cool.
I mean, that would change the mentality too. Like, I would hate to. That'd be so weird. Like, I've played, not even, I wouldn't even call it high-level soccer. I've played select, I've played competitive, but I've only once been on a team that's like losing, and it was just a men's team, and so the players just stopped showing up, and we're playing. So we start losing, and then now you got no subs, and now you're playing short, and it's like, okay, we're done. But I've played on winning teams before, and when the vibe is good, everyone's there early, warming up, or practicing, and people want to play. They want to be part of a winning team. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it's going to be like times 10 professionally. You're on the grind for 6-7 months, and then you're look up and you're 9-48. You're like, what am I doing?
It's like we get to win some games now, play some meaningful basketball too. My favorite was I liked Pat Bev going to the Bucks.
Did he go Bucks? Brooke Lopez was like, nice of you to be a teammate for like 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, or the Robin Lopez. He went to the Kings, and I think they were going to release him. It was going to be like a buyout release kind of thing because he might just be on like I think it's a 1 or 2 year deal. But I like Pat Bev going to the Bucks. I think he's probably got more. I want to see him win a championship. He's one of those guys. I know you may hate him. He's one of those scrappy guys I like.
I would love him on my team.
That's the thing. I'd love him. Yeah. I don't think he'd fit well on the Mavs, but yeah, he's the guy. You want him on you don't want to be playing against him. It's like Draymond. You'll let him fight everybody, but just don't punch me in the face at practice.
Please. Boy, Jordan Poole's career's over now. He's so bad.
He's done, man. That was, I don't know if I'd call that. That's almost a fall off. Not really, but he's gonna have to have a change of character, I guess. He's gonna have to be on a different team. The Wizards aren't gonna be. Did you see the other report that I guess Kyle Kuzma had the option to go to Dallas and turned it down?
Which I'm fine with, yeah. Wizard had Kyle Kuzma on the table, but they said no because he wanted to stay with the Wizards.
He said he wanted to build something with the Wizards. So
yeah,
which maybe they will.
Crazy.
I don't know. Maybe they'll end up building something with those. They'll have a big three with Kuzma, Poole, and somebody else. Maybe they'll get LaMelo Ball or something. One of the Ball bros over there.
Do you think you could? I was listening to this report on how Vladimir Putin looks at the world through a lens of thousands of years versus the U.S., which looks through a lens of a 4-year election cycle. And segueing that to sports, if you were the GM of the Wizards and you could never be fired, how long do you think you could win a championship there?
Oh, and I'm going there right now.
Right now, they fire their GM. You got their roster. What would you do? What would your strategy be? How long you think?
Ooh, tough. Something. I think 7 years.
It's a very biblical number.
7 years. I mean,
Not 70 times 7.
I don't have anything crazy outside of the normal strategy. Try to build through the draft. You need one guy. You need a Jason Tatum that is a rookie that you can draft. You take one guy like that, pick a couple guys up in free agency. I would find a couple European guys, add them in the mix. Trade Kuzma, trade Poole, get whatever I can. Yeah, I'd essentially be the Boston Celtics.
Build that way.
I'd be the Boston Celtics from 7 to 8 years ago.
Yeah, I would try to do what the Thunder did, which is get as many draft picks as you can, take on bad contracts, try to trade those for draft picks. And I know the rules, salary cap is going to be different. And then you try to make a run every 5 or 6 years. Then everyone wants out, or you have to pay them too much. And then you reset and do it again. So you got like 5 years great, 5 years bad, 5 years great, 5 years bad. Unless you have the guy, which is, SGA might be the guy. 'Cause
He might be the guy.
Pretty dang good.
KD was the guy. It took them. It took them what 6 or 7 years to recover from that. That was
well, they tried to hold on.
Yeah, they tried to hold on another couple years by getting Melo and PG with Russ, but that was 2 years, a couple years later, wasn't it?
When did they get PG?
Because the next year, Russ won the MVP triple-double year. He had 3 triple-double years in a row. And
Crazy.
I can't remember exactly. I remember hearing something on that podcast P show. Paul George was supposed to get traded to the Cavs to play with LeBron in his last year there. The trade fell through, and he got traded to OKC instead.
Wow.
So we could have had PG on, I think it was the 2018 LeBron. They still would have lost to the Warriors. But
yeah, they were mismatched there. That was the most expensive team in history, that Cavs team.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah, because of the salary cap rules and the luxury tax.
Luxury tax and all that.
Team was, until this year's Warriors or last year's Warriors, I can't remember, was the most expensive team in history, which is insane.
That's wild.
5-second break.
Any other? I think we covered the trades. PJ Washington.
Yeah, all the trades really happened in the offseason.
Daniel Gafford. Patrick Beverly. Robin Lopez. That was the one. Gordon Hayward. He went to OKC.
That might be an interesting one. He's still got a little something in him.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I think that's them kind of going for it this year.
Little veteran presence.
I've always liked him. In the last 4 or 5 years, he's been kind of mid. I mean, he's been like a 20-point scorer, which is still, I couldn't do it. But
have you ever heard the hypothetical of you need to hit 50 3-pointers in a season to win $10 million? You get to travel with the team. You get to practice. It's a little less than 1 a game. Could you do it? Now, everyone knows you need to hit 53s to make your salary. So it's all or nothing. You get like 25 a night. You get some shots.
25 a night. Man, that'd still be tough. I don't know. That'd be tough. I mean, I'm confident in myself. I think I could. I'd say yes for sure. But
You're swim down and just waiting for you to pull up and just squats it into the
I'm
third
thinking
row.
about. I played Saturday. I played again this past weekend, and I got hot the last game. I hit 3 threes straight at the end, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we played 4 pickup games. I only hit like 2 shots the whole game. Like the first 4 games. The last game I got hot. But I'm like, that's pickup game with random dudes in Austin. If I'm on an NBA court, man.
I played my best soccer game in years last Thursday.
Did you?
Yeah, we had one sub and he had the flu. He's like, I have the flu, and we were like, okay, he's not coming. And then he shows up. We're just stay away from the huddle, buddy. You just
Yeah.
stay
Just get
over
on
there.
over there.
So we ended up finally winning a game, which was nice because we've lost 2 that I feel like we should have won. And I scored 2, had an assist, which was going in. I headed the ball to the back corner. It was probably going in, but my friend who was calling for the ball went and just dunked it. Thank you, Brandon. As he should have. I'm not complaining. And then I scored 2, which was nice. I won a penalty. I went around the guy. I cut back. The goalie had to grab my legs to stop it. And I was so tired. I didn't want to shoot the penalty. And so I had Drew shoot it, and he saved.
Oh, nice. Drew's playing.
He is playing.
Good.
Playing. Yeah,
is he still ripped?
That was not as ripped as when he was going through anger issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's a good way to release that.
Yeah,
he got bulky there for a while.
Yeah, I remember I hadn't seen him in a few months, and we show up to a poker night. He's talking and just Jackson. I'm Drew. I gotta say something. What is going on? Like,
nobody was as big as Wedding Ben. That's still my favorite.
Wedding Ben, yeah. Dude, you were on 15 pounds of muscle.
I just remember looking at your arm and I was like, what the hell? Like, I'd never seen you that big, and it was just funny. Your arm looked like a calf muscle.
Since I won fantasy football, I get to pick the punishment. And I think I'm going like semi-temporary tattoo of the winner's face. So they have these tattoos. I think it's called Inkbox, which lasts for a month or 2. So
Shout out to Inkbox for the pod. Inkbox,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Inkbox.
Inkbox.
.com, .net, .org. I think they all work.
/blood.
Get 15% off.
Yeah.
But I want to do like if you're a Harry Potter fan, the Death Eaters, like they have the Death Eater tattoo on their forearm. Yeah. So I'm going to call it the Death Eater. So you got to get the winner's face tattooed on your forearm for a couple months.
What if that thing accidentally got a permanent?
Well, don't get last. That's what I'm like. People are like, I don't want to do this punishment. Well, don't get last. Be better.
Lock in. Don't be 2-14. It's
Seriously.
not that hard.
You gonna play with us next year?
I'm thinking about it. How many people are in the league? I only do one league. Right now I'm at my work league, but I'm thinking about leaving it and joining your league again.
Are you going LeBron method?
What are your
if you join, I can get Greg to join.
You gonna pay me $300 million a year?
No, you actually have to pay $50 to join.
Okay.
If I can get you to join, then I definitely can get Greg to join, and that'll make 12, assuming nobody leaves. So
let me think on it.
You got to pay $50 to be in a great group chat on football Sundays.
50 times 12, 600. That's a pretty good little pot.
So I'm saying, so we pay out weekly.
Is it first and second gets money, third gets their money back, or how's it work?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. And then every week we pay out. Well, we'll do more, but every week we pay out like $10 for high score.
Okay, that's fun.
So that way everyone makes sure everyone sets their lineup.
Yeah.
It's a little something.
$10.
Yeah,
$10. You have $10 right now. We're pulling through a McDonald's. Shout out to McDonald's. Drive through. And what do you order?
Well, after my game, I have this thing of stress eating or rewarding myself with food. Number one, with a chocolate milkshake and a large fry. So I had like
Is number
probably
one
2,000
Big Mac?
calories. Yes. Give me the Big Mac. Now, I was in Honduras
Yeah.
and I was like, yo quiero un Big Mac con papas fritas y un Dr. Pepper. And I look, and then there's this double Big Mac. I was like, no, lo siento. Necesito la double.
Mm-hmm.
Es claro, la double. They're like, yeah, we speak English, it's fine. I'm like, oh, okay, God. So I would like the double Big Mac.
Oh boy, I didn't realize that was a thing. I go I change it up now. I take the fries out. I go Big Mac with a side of nuggets. I get like 10 nuggets and then probably milkshake. Or I used to always get Powerade or Sprite. But yeah, Big Mac, you got to double up on the entrees, boy.
Last time I had a 2 for $5.
Can I get a McPick too?
You know, whenever someone throws a pick six in my head, I'm like, can I get a McPick six? Step in front of that. Shout out to Dak Prescott.
Dak, Rain Dakota. LIV strong. LIV
Yes.
Golf. What were your? Wait, let me make a point real quick, and then I want to hear your thoughts on it. I got a point. Now, I was looking at the TV ratings because I was curious. How many people are watching this LIV Golf you speak of? And the last couple weekends are close to the same. Saturday this week, there was 297,000 people watching. The Waste Management had 1.7 million. You saw the numbers from the Super Bowl, right?
123 million.
123 million. That's wild. For another comparison, the Suns and Warriors played on Saturday night. They had 2.57 million. So less people are watching golf than the Super Bowl or the NBA for sure. But 5 times as less people are watching LIV Golf right now. A problem they had last year as well. Want to hear your thoughts on the league? And number 2, how do you get more people to watch it?
It was, so I watched it on YouTube they did Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, if I'm right.
Correct. Yeah.
Because they didn't want to because they were in Vegas and they didn't want to do a clash with the Super Bowl.
Smart play.
Yes. And so I agree with your assessment from last week. It's kind of hectic. Like it's boom. And they play into that. They were like, what they call, like don't miss it or don't blink. And then like they turn to the next guy putting and the next guy hitting. And you're like, whoa, okay, this is a faster paced game.
Yeah. It's a little whip. You're kind of, whoa.
Yeah. And I could see liking that and not liking that at the same time. It's just different. I wouldn't say better or worse. So the last Masters that John Rahm won drove me crazy because they were taking set times 30 minutes per hole. They're talking 10 minutes between shots. It was like, boom. All right, now we walk to it and we wait. And we wait. And we wait. And I love the Masters. And I will always love the Masters. And yeah, it was just a slow product. And this one is a very fast product. So by the shotgun start, you can kind of see like late in tournaments, it might be more exciting. Now, I don't think they care about the ratings.
I don't either.
I think it's still a play. Like my opinion is that they're trying to buy out or join the PGA. Like they're trying to figure out a way to get a piece of the actual pie. And by pulling away all their talent, by buying out all their talent, now they've figured out a way to like get them to the negotiating table. Because I don't know, like other than Scotty Scheffler, like I don't really know a lot of names who are good. Like all of them are. Like I love John Rahm, and he switched. DeChambeau.
So the TV.
Dustin Johnson.
Since the PGA makes so much money from TV advertising, or it's a large portion of their revenue, LIV is not as concerned about that. They're more concerned about taking the big players away, which allows them to compete or say, "Hey, let's make a deal," or we don't have We have unlimited money. That's what you're
Can't
thinking.
beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes
you can't
sense.
beat
No,
it.
because I was thinking of it more of like, man, is that gonna? Maybe you're right. That doesn't really matter. That the fact that they're on TV is good enough for them.
Mm-hmm. I think the Saudis are thinking for 100 years. Like that's where I think their mindset is. I think I read they're going to run out of oil in 100 years, and I think that's where they're trying to think is where do we want to be in 100 years? And so through
Wow.
sports, entertainment, travel, I think that's their vision is like, okay, we have this unlimited pile of cash right now and for the next 100 years. When that runs out, then what?
What
We
investments
can
do we
position
make?
ourselves now. So
Holy
that's
crap.
my
That's terrifying because we won't be here in 100 years, and to think that far out, that's cool.
that's a big cultural difference.
I don't think
Like
America's doing that. I don't think we're thinking 100 years out, but we don't have to.
we're not a culture that thinks generationally as much anymore.
As soon as these
And
rates go down, we good, baby. That's what it is. That's all it is, right? That's America.
mm-hmm. Let's buy now and worry about it later. And yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's a different mindset. I'm not going to say one's right or wrong. It's just a very foreign mindset to us of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I won't see the results of this, but my grandkids will. And you're like, huh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I can appreciate that. I actually like that would add more that adds meaning to life. You know, you're like, hey, we're doing collectively as a society, we're doing things for the next generations. I think that's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Something we can learn.
medium, thumbs
Casey,
up,
did
thumbs
you
down.
know? On LIV Golf?
Would you watch it again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think the star power is attractive, and I think I just like different. Like I loved when the spread offense first was invented, or the Mike Leach air raid. I was like, I'm watching this. This is great. And just give me something different so I can investigate. It gets my like little like try to figure it out mind going. Yeah, and so I liked it. It was a little wild. Got to kind of adjust my mindset for it.
Yeah.
It's not the peaceful thing that we watched with our dads growing up. And on 14, John Rahm, 116 yards,
hitting out of the sand.
Yeah, nice. He's probably going to use a 58 wedge here. I'm like, 58 from 160.
He's laying up for the birdie.
It's got a lot of backspin on it. And you're like, just fall asleep here. And this one's like, boom, next hole, go. Boom, next hole, go. Bet you like that. Here's a big drive from DeChambeau. Boom, next hole. You're like,
but the end of the tournament, the last 15 holes or last 10 holes, it's more like a normal PGA tournament. Because that's what last weekend I watched the first 20 minutes and then I watched like the last 2 hours. I was like, okay, this feels more like a normal. You got 2 to 3 people coming down to the end. They started.
do you normally watch Do you normally watch Thursday and Friday of any tournament?
Nah,
no.
Unless it's the Masters or unless it's a major, I may tune in. But if it's the Wells Fargo Championship, I don't. I might watch the last 30 minutes of the last round, if that. So, yeah, baby. What else do we have? What else was hanging out there?
How many goals should I score this week?
You got to score 3, boy. Get that hat trick. 3-peat it. Episode 3. LeBron James, 23. 3-piece chicken with a biscuit.
What is the number 3 at McDonald's?
Number 3 entree. Take a wild guess.
The number 3. I'm gonna say double quarter pounder.
Yeah. They don't have it titled like that.
Come on.
I don't think you can research that. You got to go into the store to do that, man.
So that's my research project. McDonald's menu. Hang on. Right now. Love #1. You know, I bet you it's the spicy McCrispy. With cheese.
Number
I mean,
3.
basically, they have the Big Mac, the Quarter Pounder, the McDouble. They have all the chicken sandwiches, too.
When I was in high school, I would go eat 5 McDoubles and 2 apple pies.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's 10 patties for those keeping score at home.
Yeah. It was tough to get through, but I trained myself to think like they were just donuts. Because I had another buddy of mine, big dude, like 6'3", just buff, and he could knock them down. I was like, bro, I got to be able to knock down 5.
Gotcha. Now, were you powerlifting at the
time? It was mainly during baseball. Yeah, baseball season. So
right now, could you eat 5 McDoubles?
I definitely could, for sure. Did I tell you that I watched I watched the Machine movie? I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, how was that?
So, I'm trying to think of my overall score. I went into it with low expectations.
That's the key to life.
I got onto Rotten Tomatoes, and they gave it a 32% from the critics. The fans gave it an 87%.
Whoa!
So I said, okay, the fans like it. The critics obviously didn't like it. I watched it, and being a fan of Bert Kreischer, I love his stand-up. I like his podcast, Two Bears, One Cave. You ever listen to it?
No, I don't.
You should listen to it. It's with his friend Tom Segura. It's great. I loved it. I loved the movie.
Loved it.
To be honest. Yeah. I thought the character development was great. There's kind of like this flashbacky thing where it shows he's given the backstory, the Machine backstory, and it like flashes back to him being in college. So there's like another actor playing him as a younger guy. And then it's also like the present situation of the, situation they have going on. I don't want to ruin the movie, but that was cool. I thought the acting was actually pretty good. I was expecting the acting to be terrible. The lead actress was incredible. And then there's a guy in there named Igor, who was my favorite character. But yeah, man, I would recommend it. It's a little gory, which there's a couple scenes in there where you're like, what in the world? And so don't watch it with your kids. And it's definitely probably R+ rated. There's no nudity in it, but just the gore stuff and then whatever language. But dude, it was great. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I saw Luke Skywalker was his dad.
Yeah.
I watched the preview.
Okay.
It looked very funny from the preview.
Yeah. No, he does he does a great job. What's his name again? Hatton or something like that?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Yeah. He was great. But he might have been the third best character in the movie. Bert being second.
And the girl. Oh, Bert being second.
The girl was first. Bert was second. But yeah, I'd watch it. I was a proud fan. I was like, he did a pretty good job. Creative movie. Check it out.
Not bad.
And then I got a music recommendation for you, or I want to hear your. Kanye's got a new album.
Oh, does he now?
Yeah.
Ferb, I know what we're doing tomorrow.
It's called Vultures. It dropped last Thursday night, maybe last Thursday or Friday. It's with Ty Dolla $ign.
I see that.
Maybe like 15, 16 songs. I tried to listen to some yesterday, but I listened to about 4 or 5 songs. So I want to get your take on it.
Give it a listen when I can. The album cover is not great for work.
That's his wife. So I'll leave it at that.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
okay, there we go. To do Lyric City version of it. Okay, there we go. I'll give it a listen this week. I actually listened to an old album today.
Yeah.
I listened to. Let me see. What was it? It was Marty Robbins. So you know Marty Robbins?
I don't know Marty Robbins. Who that?
He's an old country singer, and it's the Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs, and it has the song El Paso. It's like,
dude's got
in the West
dash
Texas
on him.
town of El Paso, fell in love with a Mexican girl. It talks about his love story. That's his most famous song, along with Big Iron. But it's like these kind of old Western songs. It's his Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs, and I loved it. It was great. It was only 12 songs, probably 48 minutes, give or take.
Really? That's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
Pretty short album. Yeah. Oh, sorry, 35 minutes on the LP, 44 on the CD. But yeah, when I listened to it, I was like, that wasn't that long. Because I listened to it during class. I was like, this will be fine.
Yeah. Oh, you played it for the kids?
I played it in the background. They weren't really listening.
Yeah. But you were tuned in.
I was tuned in. I was listening.
Oh, man.
We're doing a research project, and they're going to have to create their own podcast script, at least.
Oh,
I might
really?
make them do a recording, but we'll see. Yeah, so they got to pick it's argumentative or / persuasion if this is a genre. So they got to pick a topic of some sort. A lot of them are going with how social media is terrible. I'm like, yes, amen, do it. And they got to do a 1-minute podcast script because I'm not recording nothing. It's like, that's a double negative. So you are recording something.
Yeah,
you played yourself.
You played yourself. I just got a phone call from your boy James.
My boy or my brother?
No, my buddy, who you know.
Oh, your buddy? Yeah.
Not your bro. I was going to put him on, but I didn't want to put him on the spot.
James, did you know that we're going live? Give me all of your opinions.
We should potentially do one or two things, or both. We should do a segment where we just scroll through our text strand, or he can be our first guest.
Dum, dum.
Which I don't know if we can do 3 people on this thing.
Why not? I was a guest on there. I bet you if I'm signed in and you're signed in.
Oh, you can. No, you definitely can. I can just keep clicking invite.
Let's go. You remember when KD joined some random dude's conversation because he was talking trash on Twitter? And he's like, yo.
I love that.
Yo.
I love that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is he like... he just straight up started to engage with them.
Yeah.
And they were going back at him.
Wow. That's crazy.
What was the name of the thing? It was like KD is trash. It was something kind of like, is KD mid or...
It was like 9 viewers, and he's like, oh, I'm jumping on this.
I'm finna get in on this.
Let me tell you something. KD is mid. What? What did you say?
That was the funniest thing ever, man. I remember that. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. It made me laugh so hard when I saw it. I was just like... Because he's just a dude, man. Like, he's just a normal guy. But the fact that he, like, engages with it, he's like, I'm getting in this thing. I'm just going to pop in here.
Get my name out of your mouth.
Hey, y'all better watch it, okay? Oh, don't make me go get mama. His mom's crazy,
She
bro.
will. She is, yeah.
I'd be more scared
Would
of her.
you take KD's mom or Draymond's mom in a fight?
I've never seen Draymond's mom, but I bet it looks just like him.
She talks a lot of trash online. Yeah.
It looks just like him, except for she's got like one.
She's got curly hair.
Did you see? There was a clip of him earlier. Did you see it?
Draymond?
I'm gonna send it to y'all. Yeah, he's talking crap about KD on his podcast.
Man, is he copying us with a podcast? Ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, it was You ain't on here.
Draymond Green will be our second guest. Just keep sending invites out.
Let's do it.
Hey, buddy, we have 4 subscribers.
I'll
I'm gonna see if I can get a bunch of my middle schoolers to subscribe.
Yeah,
Get those numbers up.
We got 3 right now. One's my dad. One's my coworker. One's me.
We have. Yeah, I was gonna say I think we got 5 or 6 actually.
Did we double this week?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hang on, let me zoom out. 7 subscribers.
Whoa, dude!
Look out.
Things are happening.
We're moving.
Oh, you added. You added. Who are? We can't see them.
Oh, that's interesting. Am I signed in as me? Am I signed in as you? Am I signed in as we? Am I signed in as who?
If you've made it this far, please subscribe and make your family subscribe. Send it out to your family in an email and tell them that you're going to give them $5 if they subscribe. And I'm not going to give you $5, but you should give them $5 so they can go to McDonald's and get something off the dollar menu. Thank you guys for everything.